Alright guys, welcome. Today we're checking out a little kind of outdoor kitchen that I'm building for my large big green egg. I just moved. Big green egg's just been sitting in the corner. It's pathetic. It's by a dryer vent. It's just everything's terrible about the situation right now, so we're trying to resolve it. I'll show you what I've done so far, and then we're going to kind of work through the finishing steps of this outdoor kitchen, which we're building out of cedar material, which generally lasts pretty well outdoors. It's kind of expensive, but has a good look to it. And if you're looking to build something for your big green egg, this would be a good option for you. Let's check it out. All right, so this is what we have so far. This is our structure built out of 2x4 cedar material, and it's essentially just the upper area, the upper tabletop, and the lower shelf area were just built as two framing pieces out of 2x4s, and then we built our legs out of cedar material, which is also just two 2x4s screwed together. You kind of look at the top there. So it's just two pieces screwed together. Then we got our kind of our tabletop joint on all sides to the legs, and then our lower area, same thing. Framework just screwed together to all four of the legs. And then we have our big green egg area in the center, which is right now pretty tall, so we're gonna have to put a shelf in there. So we'll have some storage beneath the big green egg. Big green egg sitting on top of that shelf. And yeah, overall pretty easy. Few details. Sometimes it's handy to have a pocket hole joinery kit made by Craig. They sell a bunch of different kits. I'll post a few links for kind of more basic ones that would be just to get you started on something like this, but find it real handy for a lot of woodworking projects. So that's a fun tool. And other than that, a miter saw would be handy. And then also a table saw for really accurate cuts is also handy, but not necessary. But I do have one of those, and it comes in handy. So, all right. So right now we're going to put on the casters, put this sucker on wheels, and then we're going to start finishing off the lower shelf area. And then we'll put in our big green egg shelf, and then we'll work on the tabletop, and then finally the trim on the outside. So we'll be trimming all the exterior, all these open areas with 1x6 cedar material to try to keep things a little more rainproof, even though it will get some moisture in there. So anyway, let's get going. Thanks for joining us. All right, we're back. We've made a little progress. We got the flooring on for the shelf. We mounted the shelf for the big green egg portion. And so we'll just go ahead and take a look at some of those details. It's later in the day, we're working up a sweat, so you know we got the golden light flowing again today. Canned beer this week because we just moved into a house and spending too much money to buy good bottled beer. So we're scraping the barrel, drinking nice canned golden light. Let's take a look at the green egg table. All right, so we're making progress. It's starting to look like something now. We got our middle shelf there for the big green egg with a little storage beneath it. We got our 1x6 cedar on the floor for our shelf. And what I like to do here is I like to, if you can see this, I like to use nice finishing screws for every corner, and then use just a finishing nail gun, pneumatic nail gun, for the rest. So that way these guys should stay nice and tight. The flooring shouldn't go anywhere. And we got our shelf mounted here. It's 14 inches from the top. So after we have our 1x cedar on the top for our tabletop, and our 1x cedar on the bottom of our shelf, it's going to maintain that 14 inch height, which should be pretty good for the big green egg, for a large big green egg, and still be able to open it quite nicely. So I'm gonna keep trucking here. Gonna get the next 1x cedar on the shelf and the top, and then we'll start finishing the sides. We'll check back in just a bit. All right, so we're getting closer. We got our tabletop on. We still need to cut a nice big opening for a big green egg right in that sucker. We got our shelf here, so we got that situated. So now it's really the finishing touches and how you want to finish this off. For now, I'm going to go ahead and get some trim material on the sides to close the side and the back in, and then eventually I'm going to build some doors. But for now, I'm probably going to leave that open for the moment just because of time, and then shoot another video after we build the doors, see what it looks like. So tomorrow we're going to finish this sucker off. What that means for you in YouTube time is that's going to happen right now. Let's see what the finished product looks like. Alright, welcome back. It's day 2. We're going to finish off this table. One final cut for the tabletop, a couple pieces of trim, and we're pretty much good to go. Let's finish it up. Alright, we got our line scribed here. Just used a nail, piece of twine, and a pencil to mark that out. So let's cut this baby open. Okay, so we got our spot for our green egg to sit. I'm going to put a piece of granite on top of that just to keep it cool so the cedar below it doesn't get too hot and catch on fire. And other than that, do some sanding, some finishing on the tabletop, and we'll be good to go. Now I'll show you just one final piece of trim that I'm putting on, just a little trick to make the cutting go a little faster if you decide to build something like this. Okay, just wanted to show you one little quick tip with trim work just to make the cutting go faster. So we used 1x6 cedar for the sides to just finish up the kitchen. So these pieces here were about 24 inches tall, and I have one little trim piece on the bottom there that I install first, and then leave a little more room at the top. Let's see if we can see this with the shadow and everything. It's kind of hard to see. But at the top, we basically have an area where there's a little gap, so you can just cut these boards approximately 24 inches and you don't really need to worry about the accuracy too much. And then we're just going to add one piece of trim right at the top there, and then those inaccuracies you will not see. It'll look nice and pretty and just save you some time cutting. Alright, we're just going to take a quick look at the finished product here. I got a couple coats of stain on the top, so it's looking pretty good. So this baby's going to be returned to action real quick. Large big green egg is ready to go. So you'll see that in some future videos, but we'll go ahead and take a look at the table. Alright, so this is pretty much a finished product. Just need to put on a piece of granite there, or a piece of stone in the center for the big green egg to sit on, and then we're ready to roll, and then add some doors at some point when I have time. So I'll update as things, progress. But overall, it turned out pretty good. Got some exterior clear coat on there, so it's got a little bit of a gloss to it. You can kind of see that. So that should repel some rain at least. Try to shed that a little bit. If it does get wet, then I'm probably going to order a cover for it. I found some on Amazon that look like they would definitely fit this big sucker. It's about a little over 7 feet as far as the overall dimensions of it, and it's a little over 3 feet wide. But overall, I'm pretty happy with the product. I think it turned out pretty well. Only thing I would do differently is definitely get 2 locking casters. When I picked those up from Lowe's, I just got 2 or 4 that are all just free rolling, so I have to use just kind of a little stopper underneath there just to keep it from rolling around on this slightly sloped patio surface. So I just made too many trips to Lowe's in one day, and I just was not going back, so I'll live with it. It'll be fine. But overall, turned out pretty good. I'm going to put some plans on my website, searedandsmoked.com, so I'll do a blog post on that with some more details on dimensions and plans on how to make your own. So check that out. I'll put a link below, as well as the different products that I use to build this sucker if you're interested in building something like this. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time.